right, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Diehard Racing League's Automated Office Technologies Truck Series. Tonight, we are at Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway for Chase Race 2 out of 4. Tonight, the guys will be going 263 laps around this very steep, banked, all concrete half-mile track that has been worldwide famous here for its clogging of the track. We've been watching them all night here in practice. A lot of the drivers, as we look through the list, let's see, the 76 of Joshua Jones, he's got 239 laps on record. Robert Barris in the 75 with 270 laps. Seth Schultz with 205. 47 of Brian Clark with 245. So a lot of drivers here have already matched or gone over the actual race distance here in practice. And looking at the times right now, Todd Cray in the 10 is going to be our #1 truck in practice with a 14.660. Joshua Jones in the 76 will follow that with a 14.704. Rodney Kramer in the 6 is being scored as your third place truck with a 14.715. And Robert Barris in fourth right now with a 14.721. Those are the only drivers. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, those are the only drivers that could get a 14.6 or a 14.7. Everybody else is 14.8 or higher here. Now, there's not going to be as many trucks on track tonight because a lot of the guys do not like running Bristol. And with this being the Chase race here, the top 12 are racing for the Chase Championship. I think a lot of the regular drivers are just going to use this as an off week. That way they don't interfere with possibly messing up somebody's championship run here. Because this right here, out of the 4 races, we did Chicagoland, we've got Bristol, we still have Charlotte, and then we have Homestead. This is the make or break race right here. You've got to come out on top here at Bristol if you want to survive through Charlotte and Homestead and bring home that Chase Championship. But as we can see, we are less than a minute away from starting qualifying here. So we'll just let you guys enjoy the sounds that are Thunder Valley until the session state changes, and we will pick up with qualifying. All right, the checkered flag has come out. Practice is officially over. The timer is going to count down. We will advance into qualifying here, and we will see who is going to be able to lay down the fastest lap time. Now, remember, this is always open qualifying here. Unless we are on a plate track, we do run open qualifying. So all these drivers have 10 minutes to lay down the best lap time here at Bristol Motor Speedway, just like any other speedway we go to other than Daytona or Talladega. So it's going to be a long, actually, well, yeah, it's going to be a long 10 minutes here. There's going to be a lot of laps logged, seeing how this is literally just over a half-mile track. And finally, joining me up here in the booth, we've got Alan Schoen. As always, how you doing tonight, Alan?
I'm doing a lot better now that I got rid of all that Chinese food I ate on the trackside.
What did I tell you about eating from the infield food vendors?
Oh, but it was good going in.
That's like Mike with his Happy Family. It's Happy Family, Angry Butthole. So, yeah. So what do you think tonight's strategies are going to be, seeing how this is such a key, crucial race for all these guys here competing tonight for that Chase Championship?
You know, they're going to have to save their stuff. They're going to have to stay out of other people's crap and stay out of their own crap. If they step in it, they're going to be sliding and crashing as Robert bounces off the inside wall. You know, these guys are just, this is a tight track. They gotta just mind their P's and Q's and be on the binders when they need to be.
This track, more so than others, is a lot like Darlington. It's pretty much a one groove track. If you can't stay up there in that high line, the high line's really where all the grip is at, but we've been seeing them get loose regardless whether they're on the high, the middle, or the low line. It's either they get a little too high in the corner and hit the wall, or they get a little too low and the rear end of the truck breaks loose on them. But as we see there, the 29 of Avery McDonald, prime example of just getting a little bit too high off an entry off the corner there. He tagged the wall there, but hopefully we don't see too much of that happening during the race. Right now it is showing the 76 of Joshua Jones with the fastest time, but that all will change. Right now, he is being scored with a 14.673. The 77 of Seth Schultz right now with a 14. Take that back. Todd Cray just took everything over by 1/1000th. He ran a 14.672, so that'll put that 10 machine there on the pole as of right now. The 77 of Seth Schultz in third with a 14.713. The 75 of Robert Barris in fourth with a 14.748. The 47 of Brian Clark, fifth with a 14.770. Adam Nowinski in the 28 with a 14.772. The 6 of Rodney Kramer with a 14.8 flat. Jose Tellis in the 24 with a 14.808. Avery McDonald in the 29 with a 15.056. Rounding out the top 10 so far is the 5 of Brad Speidel with a 15.204. So right now it's looking like the time to beat is a 14.672. Right now between first and second there is only a 1/1000th of a second difference between pole and starting second. All right, so we are under the 5-minute mark here. Roughly 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in open qual. As always, we have our salute to our local heroes up there in the upper right-hand corner. That is thanks to the driver of the 17 truck, Mr. Cody Franklin. He donated towards the, yep, there's going to be the first brain fart. It's been about 2 weeks since we've broadcasted. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July, but the luck of the draw driver, there we go. Cody ponied up for that, so his logo will sit up there for the remainder of the season. Now, Mike Major down in the officiating tower, he uses a random number generator, and whatever driver number pops up receives a $5 payout for being the luck of the draw. All right, folks, we're reaching the 2-minute warning mark here, and right now it's still Todd Cray with that 14.672 on the pole. Nothing has really changed. Less than 20 seconds here on the clock. I'm pretty damn sure nobody's gonna beat the time here. So as the seconds are ticking off here, it will be Todd Cray on the pole, that 14.672, and Joshua Jones in the 76 with that 14.673. So, with that being said, grading is about to take place here, so we are going to ask everybody to please rise, remove your hats as we play our national anthem. So tonight's gridding order will be on pole the 10 of Todd Cray. Starting outside of him, the 76 of Joshua Jones. Row 2, we have the 77 of Seth Schultz and the 75 of Robert Barris. Rolling off fifth tonight will be the 47 of Brian Clark, Adam Nowinski in the 28 6th, Josue Tellis in the 24 machine 7th, Rodney Kramer in the 6 8th. Rolling off ninth tonight will be Caleb Thompson in the 4. Avery McDonald in the 29 will round out the top 10. Brad Speidel in the 5 will start 11th. And I do believe we have the 23 of Corey Brown. 13th will be James Brown. And then 14th, we have the 3 of Ralph Vandervoort. So pace car is off. We are getting ready. We are on the pace lap here. And Alan, what better way to start a race than with a crank it up? do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so we are less than half a lap away here from taking the green flag. Once again, 263 laps tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to be an interesting race. And let's get ready for some Thunder Valley action. And so once again, it is a 2 to green here at Bristol, just like it is on the smaller track. So Brett Wadine doing an amazing job there with the pace car. He's going to dive the hell off the track, and we're going to take the green flag this time by. So everybody, you pay for the entire seat, but you only need the edge. Green flag is out. Let's go racing.
Those first couple of laps under green, these guys are jockeying for position.
I was about to say, this is definitely not what we're used to seeing here at Bristol. Normally everybody's a little bit more reserved. It looks like the 10 of Todd Cray there might have scraped the wall a little bit, which is going to allow the 75 of Robert Barris to get around him. So that'll put new leader 75. Meanwhile, further back in the pack, we're looking at fifth spot right now. That is the 47 of Brian Clark. Behind him, we have the 6 of Rodney Kramer and the 28. So we see now the 77 of Seth Schultz. He's going to look to the inside of the 10 of Todd Cray as well. As we see the 76 has gotten around. So that will shuffle Todd back to fourth now, I believe. Next to try and take the spot will be the 47 of Brian Clark. Oh yeah, I forgot. Little special announcement. Our Mr. Luck of the Draw sponsor is also in the booth with us tonight. So Cody, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Watch out for Alan. He had some of the discount infield Chinese food. It's not been good so far.
It's all good. I had fun.
Oh, great. I had chicken parm, so I guess we're all screwed.
It was like
oh, we got 28 going around there.
He saves it.
Nice save.
I think he was going to try to take that position from Todd.
I think that low line's just gonna be too greasy.
Like Jose Tellez is now going for the shot on Todd.
And he's gonna do so. So our pole sitter right now is absolutely dropping like a rock. He started on pole, and he's all the way back to 6th spot already. And next to come under fire will be the 29 of Avery McDonald.
I'll tell you though, I'd keep an eye on Todd through the race.
I'm thinking this is a strategy call. Start on pole, drop back a little bit, let these guys burn their junk up, and then still have the tires there. But with this being such a short track, and having such a steep banking that there is, and we've seen time and time again how loose these trucks get if you're on the low side, or if you get too high off of entry or off exit off a corner, it's also going to break the truck loose, or you're going to get some of the wall. Laying back might not be the best strategy, because if a caution comes out, then you're just going to be mired there in the back of the field unless you can either pull off one hell of a pit stop or just take the chance and stay out and try to get that spot back. But that typically when a caution comes out here at Bristol, everybody comes down for tires because this is a very, very abrasive racing surface, and these trucks do not like keeping the tires on them very long.
It looks like Robert's going to have lap time here in the next couple of laps as James Brown is exiting the corner as Robert is getting in the corner and he's running down for pit up, and James just pulled off.
You see James there down on the apron. He's letting them go by. I think James might be putting it down pit road a little bit early. You see the 76 there, Joshua Jones. He tagged a little bit of the wall there. Meanwhile, we're watching the battle for third spot, or second spot right here. Right now, Joshua Jones in the 76 in second. The 77 of Seth Schultz trying to take that away from him as Robert Barris continues to try and stretch out the lead here at Bristol. He's got it up to a half second. And I don't believe the trucks really have that good of a Bristol set, which is why we're seeing a lot of sparks flying out from underneath these trucks here, is that they're just sitting so low.
Well, Josue did make a pass for fourth position, but did tag the wall coming off and allowed Brian Clark to get right back up to his bumper, but I don't know if he's going to drive away here or not.
I don't know. Both of those guys laid down a ton of laps in practice, so I think right now, with us only being 22 laps in 263, I think we're going to see patience as we get that good shot there from up here, pretty much where we're sitting. Looks like Josue's managed to pull it off a little bit. Meanwhile, the 77, he's beating on the back bumper of the 76. He wants by, but the problem is he's got to find a way to get around the 76 of Joshua Jones, because right now, that high line is the right line. If you can get into that corner just right, you can get such an amazing run off of the high line. But if you get that line and you get the run, but the driver in front of you doesn't, you've really got to lay off the throttle. Otherwise, you risk getting into the back of the truck in front of you and sending him for a ride that is not wanted, because even though this is Bristol, we want to see as long of a green flag run as possible.
Brad just absolutely drifted. I believe that was 3 and 4. What a save.
Now we see the 77 there. He slightly got the wall.
These trucks are definitely getting a little free.
Now, that's one thing that we definitely noticed from practice. The more laps you put on these tires, the looser these trucks get. So I'd say probably within about another 20 laps, the right sides are going to be extremely pissed off at everybody, no matter how much you're trying to save these tires.
These guys will be saying what right sides?
Exactly, they're going to be on rims. Which, all right, since I've got two of you in here tonight, this will give me probably two different answers. What do you guys think the pit strategies are going to be for tonight?
Al, I'll let you take the first one.
You know, I guess if it were me and it was within 10 laps of the last stop, I'm probably going to take 2 tires and top the tank. Keep that truck a little bit tighter. If it's, you know, if we're 20 laps into a run, I'm coming down, I'm taking all 4, and, you know, I'll probably leave the tank a little light.
Okay, there's one side.
My side is very simple. I watched the 77 and 75, and I mimic their pit strategy. They always seem to be right on the money. Either they try to play each other a lot. Robert is calculating every lap, and I try to watch what he's doing, and you can normally tell by tendencies he does what he's going to do, and I try to mimic that. That's probably going to be the best bet, especially in the short track.
And I'm going to throw out the oddball strategy. I wouldn't rule it out that we see some 3-tire stops here, keeping that left rear on to try and maintain a little bit of looseness while still being able to put a full load of fuel in that truck. So I'd be interested to see if anybody takes 3 tires tonight.
Post away has called the set and is looking low on him right now.
That low line's dangerous.
He's been able to pull it off. Gets out there about middle groove and then hammers it down low coming off. He's passed several trucks like that.
So we focus on the 24 there, that liquid Molly. Absolutely love the back tailgate on that truck.
Here he looks like he's trying to get a run there.
So you see him coming out of 3 and 4. They're door to door as they cross the line. Going into 1, is Seth going to give it up, or is Josue going to have to take it the hard way? Right now, he's got the advantage. He has, he almost cleared the 77, but he'll be able to do so this time as they go through 3 and 4. So he'll be able to get back up there in the racing line. And it looked for a second like Seth there was going to do the good old crossover, but thought better of it. So moved the 24 of Josue Tellez up to 3rd. Meanwhile, it's still Robert Barris out front with a 3/10 lead over the 76 of Joshua Jones, sitting in 2nd right now, as we can see all 4 of the lead trucks right here in frame.
I'd be curious to know what's going through Robert and Seth's mind, especially as close as points are, if they're going to take this somewhat easy first going and more aggressive at the end, or if they're just going to be aggressive throughout.
You know, that's something that I was thinking for well over an hour and a half during practice. Who's going to be the ones that's going to just ride it out for the first half of the race, and who's just really going to go 110%? And judging from the start, Robert started in 4th. He very quickly made his way up to 1st, which that doesn't surprise me. But I think there's a lot of different variables with this being a short track. I mean, some drivers prefer the shorter tracks, like half mile to 3/4 mile, to maybe like up to say to like Dover, which is 1 mile, or New Hampshire. Most drivers prefer the intermediate tracks. Everybody loves the plate tracks because, I mean, just hell, it's a plate track. You gotta love racing a plate. But some drivers are a hell of a lot more talented and more patient, and their skill set is better at these shorter tracks. And I think that's why we're seeing like the 76 and possibly even why the 10 of Todd Cray dropped back. Meanwhile, he's only sitting in 5th spot, as right now 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are passing lap traffic of the 29 of Avery McDonald.
As he was catching lap traffic, it looked like Avery had a nice wedgie, and now I think he's going around Rodney, going around the low side.
Somebody took a pinch out of that skull can there.
They sure did exactly what I was thinking.
Now we gotta try and find the truck that has the corresponding dent in the front end that'll made up perfectly to the ass end of that.
Oh,
Rodney almost made contact there with the 76, and out of nowhere we see the 6 truck of Rodney Kramer.
well, he's a
Lap trap, yeah. So you see a little piece of the wall there.
I don't think he can get down low. I don't think his truck will stay down there.
No, let's just see him get the wall again. Well, we are coming up to 50 laps already on these tires. We see the 6 in the wall again. I think right now he's just trying. I think he might actually be trying to use the wall to slow him down enough to let the other guys get by him, since he can't get down to the bottom. I know I've done that a few times in an official race. I've been down 1 or 2 laps, and I know the leaders come back up, and I can't get out of the way. I just let the truck or the car run up into the wall and let everybody go by. But
well, with the old build, I know you can get the wall and tighten your truck up as well.
Yep.
And we know these fixed setups, losing growth and get a little squirrely. Tightening it up might not be a bad thing.
As we are now 51 laps into this race. This actually might go a lot faster than I originally expected it to. Was that the 4, I believe, that just blinked there on the front stretch? You see the super run there. Josue got on the 76. He had to back off, otherwise he would have gave that Browning truck a nice little wedgie. Once again, Josue is going to use that low side to try and take another spot away.
I've been watching that 76, and he's loose, even on the high side. He looks like he's battling it pretty good. Have we got a shot of in cab with them fighting the steering wheel yet?
No, we have not, but we can go on board with the 76 and let's see what happens.
The 24 is loose up off the corner too.
So we're gonna ride inside here with the 76 of Joshua Jones.
Looks like Seth Schultz is going to make a pass on Josue. Put Seth back in third.
Cycle back one truck. Actually, we'll look at Robert here and see how he's going into the corner.
I mean, it doesn't look like they're really fighting the wheel all that much right now.
No, it doesn't.
They look pretty smooth.
Now we're going to go to the 77 here.
Yeah, he's right up on the 76. Seth is looking low on the 76.
So he had to get out a little bit there.
Get right back up in it.
I believe Josue will kind of mind his time there. He knows he can't get around two trucks at once.
And look at all the people in the stands. This place is packed.
Josue is absolutely driving deep into the corners. He gets right up to the back bumper. Oh, Seth has got to run on outside.
You see there's a fairly good hood pop there on the right side of the 24 truck, but this is Bristol. It's not going to hurt at all. As we see Josue is trying to look low on the 76. He can't quite pull it off, but he's going to dive it in there again. Wow, power move.
Wow.
What a move.
And he is going to take that spot, so move the 24 of Josue Tellez back to third. Now we're going to cycle back once again to the 76, who was our second place truck. He is now back to fourth.
Looks like the 4's caught the 76 too as well. And
as we go to the best camera in all of motorsports, the Fox Crank It Up cam. All right, the 47 of Brian Clark is on pit road, so lap 66, we're starting to see possibly the first of our green flag pit stops.
slowly inched his way up here to the finish as well.
Now Caleb tonight is actually running one of my favorite paint schemes that he's done, the Malware Bites one versus the Jive truck that we've seen him in all season, the yellow and black. Tonight he is rocking that blue and black truck.
Not sure if Brian got caught for speeding down on the pit road or if he's just taking an extended repair stop. He is over 68 seconds.
That timer is still going up as well. I'm seeing 76 seconds and still going. right, as we go back to the regular Fox cam here, I absolutely love the crank it up camera, but sometimes the angled shots there, you don't really get to ingest too much. It's just the sheer noise, and it's great for plate tracks, great for intermediates. Short tracks, not so much, but nonetheless, gotta love that crank it up cam. So
77's finally closed the gap on Robert Burris, and
yes, he has.
Run for his money. He's looked low a couple times here.
As we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer coming into play again, that is not for position. He's going to stay up high. Both the 75 and the 77 are going to get by. So we see the 24 once again able to just dive that truck down into turns 3 and 4. He makes his way around Rodney, no problem. And with 78 laps in the books, this has been a lot longer of a green flag run than I expected. I expected, honestly, there to be a caution within the first 20 laps, but great job so far by these guys. Almost 80 laps in the books, and we have yet to see the caution flag come out. Hopefully it does not, and we get a great green flag run from start to finish.
Seth's got a good run off right there. Gets a good run off 3 and 4, and he's right to the bumper. Right.
And now he's looking on the inside as they go into 3. Robert was able to hold him off at the line that time, but Seth is still down there on that bottom line. He's going to try again as they come out onto the backstretch, but still not yet able to clear the 75.
Meanwhile, Caleb right behind him.
Ooh, wicked little bobble there out of the 4 truck. Now this is 1st through 4th position right here, all battling like crazy with 82 lap old tires.
It's all about who saved more. I've been watching that 4 truck. He is patient, inches way up. His times were about matching the leaders the whole time. He just kind of out of the way, keeping that truck clean, and marches it up there in Caleb fashion.
Man, and just watching the run that that 24 truck gets in the corner, especially center off. There's a lot of times he actually has to let off of the throttle because they'll get right up there on the back bumper of the 77. I've yet to see any other driver really dive the truck down there, but he just gets one hell of a run through that corner.
He's driving it in a lot deeper than these guys are too. I mean, way deep.
As we see, the 77 is going to look low again. See if Seth can make anything materialize out of it. Right now, Robert's probably using this to his advantage because that inside absolutely eats the living daylights out of those tires. But Robert went a little high, so Seth might get it. But once again, traditional Bristol fashion there, the outside line always gets the better run off of the corner because you scrub so much speed.
Hostway's trying to fill that gap behind Robert, so the pitch Seth even lower.
Well, right now, if I was them,
fall back to maybe 4.
yep, if I was them, I would have the 4 and the 24 get as close as they could to the 75 and keep the 77 trapped down there on the bottom side and make him wear those tires out even worse. But right now, you can see that Seth gets the advantage coming in, but right there at exit off, Robert just absolutely slays him. So I think Seth should be able to back off now and just line back in. As we see now, the 24 is going to take a run at the 77.
Yeah, but they got lap traffic coming up here. You're going to have to be wise and figure out where you're going to make that pick.
This is definitely some heads-up racing. As you see the lap traffic, the 5 of Brad Speidel and the 28 of Adam Nowinski. That will be coming into play here. As once again, the 77 is making a run. This time he will lead a lap, so that will be lap led for Seth Schultz. And he's actually able to clear Robert.
I absolutely don't know how they didn't touch. You couldn't fit a sheet of paper between those 2 trucks side by side, 1 and the 2 there.
And now we've got the 24 of Josue Tellis, who's going to battle door-to-door with the 75 of Robert Barris, trying to take the 2nd spot away. As Seth now is in between the 5 and the 28. He's cleared the 5 of Brad Speidel. Now we see Adam got a little bit of a wall there, but Seth now with a 4/10 of a second lead. Robert, Josue, and Caleb now all have to make it around the 5 and the 28 here. As we are coming up on 100 laps.
It's not all that wide.
Especially when the preferred line is, as Alan calls it, the upside line. It's very hard to make the pass here, but as we can see, even the best of the drivers like Robert, he still has yet to be able to clear the 28. Although I do think the 28 and the 5 are on new tires.
It looks like the 4, Caleb Thompson, is Robert there too.
Oh, that's 3 trucks in a very, very short area of real estate there. You see the 4 and the 24. All right, so 3 trucks out already. We've got the 68 of James Brown, the 23 of Corey Brown, and the 47 of Brian Clark. They have all taken their truck behind the wall to the hauler.
And moved Caleb to 2nd place.
Yep, power move there by the 4 truck. He's going to make it around the 75 of Robert Barris. So we'll be coming up on 2 laps shy of 100 in the books here. And you know, at least 130 laps on a tank of fuel here, but you've got to wonder how these guys are feeling, seeing how nobody has pitted yet. The only vehicles that have come down pit road have retired from the race.
Well, they've only fallen off about a second or 2 tenths off our qualifying laps right now. So the tire wear is probably getting bad, but the time really isn't. They're not losing enough time, especially at short track. So they might make a full fuel.
As once again we saw the 24 of Josue Tellez trying to mount the charge on the 75 again. He was not able to do it. While the 5 and the 29, both lap traffic trucks, as we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer there too. Caleb Thompson, the number 4 there, he needs to get around the 6 truck to try and get up to the 77. Right now Seth has a 0.6 of a second lead over Caleb, as we are now over 100 laps in the books here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
As these guys are all battling lap traffic back here, second in the back, it's allowed Seth to step out about 0.7 of a second.
Actually, that's 3rd on back. I believe Robert's 3rd, and now
Josue and Todd are coming. The 24 and the 10 right now are trying to mount the charge to try and get up around the 75. The 5 and the 6 are both lap trucks, but the 75, the 24, and the 10 right here are all for position.
Now that they've cleared lap traffic, they may be able to gain some of that time back in first place.
So you see the 4 of Caleb Thompson has actually been able to reel in the 77 a little bit. He brought it down a few tenths of a second, but with 107 laps on those Goodyear Eagles, I know a lot of these trucks have got to either be getting really loose or really tight.
Watching the 1 and 2, he will dive that truck low and be able to stick it. He don't do it in 3 and 4, but he'll dive it down in 1 and 2. He gives it a couple laps and he'll just bury it down low. I think that's where he's gaining his time.
Right now we're watching 1st and 2nd. We're going to see how Caleb brings this down into the corner here. You see there, right on exit, that was a perfect way to apex the corner. Once again, that's one of my absolute favorite paint schemes I've seen that Toyota Tundra rock. Looking back behind the 4, there's a almost 3-second gap between the 4 and the 75.
Yeah, I think those 3 guys right there, the 75, the 24, and the 10, they used up a lot of their stuff trying to get around that lap traffic.
As we go back to the battle between the 75, the 24, and the 10, once again we see the 24 down there on the low line trying to take advantage of it. He gets a little bit loose that time. That's going to open up the door for the 10 of Todd Cray to stay behind the 75 of Robert Barris and pinch the 24 down on the low side and make that truck potentially even more loose. You see once again he was a little bit loose there off of 4, just a slight bobble that time, but he's still able to keep it door to door with the 75, so kudos to the 24 there of Josue Tellez. Not many people opting to run that low line, but he's able to do it lap after lap.
Yeah, but he is definitely hurting those old tires.
Especially the right front. You see now the 10's going to go on the outside.
He'll bury that thing in there and just almost slide all 4 up to the wall.
As we see Todd get a piece of the wall there out of 4.
He is driving hard.
I'll be surprised at the end of this race if we have a single truck that does not have just the slightest bit of sheet metal damage to it. So once again, the 24 is going to try and look to the inside, but it's not going to materialize. We see the 10 of Todd Cray. He's just sitting back there stalking both of them right now, trying to plan his move of how he's going to get around the 24. Oh, he's with the 24 in the wall. Well, there's the move for the 10 of Todd Cray. That'll move him up to 4th spot and Josue back to 5th. Now let's see what Todd can do against the 75 of Robert Barris.
Caleb had a little lap traffic and stepped off for him.
1.3 seconds. Now we see the 10 of Todd Cray. He had the pass in the books, but once again, that outside run coming off the corner is just, you can't compare it to the inside at all. You just carry so much more momentum and so much more speed on that outside line.
So you have to hear that.
Yep, but he's able to clear the 75, so move the 10 of Todd Cray up to 3rd, and now we see once again that 24 truck of Josue Tellez. He's going to dive down to the bottom again and try and take it away as Robert's going to give it to him. So this is going to tell me that pit stops are coming up soon, and we see the 29 of Avery McDonald. He's going to stay on the low side. We get the 6 of Rodney Kramer. Oh, Josue Tellez hard in the inside wall there. He locks it down, but that is some heavy, heavy damage there. So we see Josue using the backstretch pits there just to keep the truck down off the racing surface after getting loose off of turn 4 there. He had some heavy contact. You know what? Seeing how we've been green flagged the whole way, let's back it up and see exactly what led to it. If we just got in the throttle too soon or what. All right, so we're going to wind it back a few laps here. This is after he passed Robert. I see the little bit of damage there on the right rear, but nothing serious yet. I'm going to look for it coming off of turn 4. That might be this lap here. I know I rewound a little bit because I wanted to see what happened going up to it.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Looks like pit stops are starting with Robert Barris down. 4 is coming down. And here in about 3 or 4 more laps.
And we got to see what happened there on the instant replay. He just got a little bit too high coming off the corner, smacked the wall, and as it's happened to us so many times, when you come off that wall, the truck just instantly gets loose and it just dove straight towards the inside wall. Luckily, he didn't hit it head on and it didn't detonate the motor, but I guarantee he's got probably about 7 minutes of optional repairs that truck's got to endure after hitting the wall that hard.
Meanwhile, Joshua Jones is 4 tires down.
So you can see the heavy damage there on the 24. Meanwhile, out front, it is still the 77 of Seth Schultz as Todd Cray makes the move on the 4 of Caleb Thompson. That'll move Todd Cray up to second.
Josue, how'd that happen?
Just like pushing it a bit, brushed the wall, and then the car just ended up drifting a little to the left. I'm just glad I didn't T-bone the wall.
Yeah, I noticed that when you hit the wall. How bad is the optional repairs? Because I know you hit pretty much on, I'd say probably about a 45-degree driver's angle. If you had hit that nose on, you definitely would have blew the motor up. But how bad's the damage on that 24 truck?
I am looking at 3 minutes of repairs.
Oh, it could be a hell of a lot worse. It could be half an hour waiting for a new motor in that ride. But we've seen you've been able to do something that a lot of these guys have not. We've seen you diving down almost to the apron of the track. How have you been able to stick that truck down there so much?
I'm be using more brakes, I guess, being a little aggressive, but some here I did it a couple of times. It almost drifted up. I almost got into Robert. But I mean, the truck is being handling good on the long run. But at first, I'm too loose. But hopefully, I'm still able to drive it after these repairs.
Well, hopefully you can get it back out there and it'll stay up to speed. You've been doing a great job so far. We'll let you get back to your repairs. We just wanted to see how bad the damage was after watching the replay there. And good luck to you for the rest of the race.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was
Meanwhile,
the 24.
Seth Schultz leader come down on lap 134. It looked like right side's up, left side's up, and down. Caleb Thompson as well has been in and for full service, and I'm unsure, but
10 of Todd Cray. I don't know, because Caleb just blew by the 10 like he was nothing.
correction, 10 has not been down pit road.
So right now it's showing
As 10 pits now.
Yep. Right now, this has got IRTV all kinds of screwed up with the way that the pitting is going on here. Now it's starting to filter out.
By the tower earlier that these guys could run half the race on fuel, but the tires are going to be costly.
So you see the 24 of Jose Tell is back out on track, so that's a good thing to see. After making that hard contact to the inside wall on the front stretch, he's got that 24 refired and back out. As you see the 10, Todd Cray making his way off of pit road.
Unfortunately, that 24 truck is 15 laps down.
With that being said,
Laps down while you're sitting.
oh no, it does not. Especially when you're turning 14, 15-second lap times. You can go a handful of laps down in literally a couple minutes. You see the 5 of Brad Speidel on pit road.
But on a brighter note, that does guarantee him a top 10.
Seth is Sakabaku.
So a quick run through here of the top 10. We've got the 77 of Seth Schultz out front. Second place, the 75 of Robert Barris, Caleb Thompson, and the number 4 truck third. The 76 of Joshua Jones, 4th, Todd Cray, and the 10, 5th. Brad Speidel, first truck lap down in 6th. Adam Nowinski in 7th, 2 laps down. The 29 of Avery McDonald being scored 5 laps down in 8th. Rodney Kramer in the 6th truck being scored 9th, 9 laps down. And rounding out the top 10, 15 laps down will be the 24 of Josue Tellez. So now that we've had a complete cycle of green flag pit stops, we're going to cut to a commercial break, and then we will return to the action here at Thunder Valley. right, folks, we are back. Nothing has changed. It's still the 77 out front with a 3.9 second lead over second place, 75 of Robert Barris. Meanwhile, we see the focus shifted to fourth spot right now. That is the 76 of Joshua Jones. Behind him, for position, will be the 10 of Todd Cray. Todd being the last truck on the lead lap. Right there, we see the 24. He is 15 laps down, but good to see that he is one hell of a sport here when it comes to getting wrecked in a race. He's not the type of driver who will just disconnect from the server when he's down and out. He will actually sit there, even if it's half an hour to get a new motor put in, just to get out there and log laps. As we see the 29 of Avery McDonald, he's pulling that 29 down on pit road. Right now we see the 4 of Caleb Thompson. He's on the back bumper of the 75 of Robert Barris. This is the battle for second spot.
I just spoke with Caleb just a few seconds ago, and he said he's going to try to run his bottom line a little bit more. He said it's hard down there. Robert is giving the spot right here.
So we will see that position change. That is a voluntary pass there. The 75 of Robert Barris gave him the position. Pretty good strategy call if you look at it from the 75 team there.
Oh yeah, you know he's calculating.
Oh, of course.
Human calculator.
He's a master strategist, so letting Caleb go is not going to hurt him. Same damn thing.
As I see, Seth here has just walked away, it seems. He's got almost a half a track on Caleb, second place.
Cody, I think you might need to go revive Allen. I think he's choking on a shrimp.
Meanwhile, I believe we've lost Allen for a minute here. I don't know what's going on with him. We've lost him. And we got second place, Caleb. Still gaining a little bit, but I don't know. It's going to be a while before he gets back up into that first place.
Wait a minute, wait. Look out to the left here in our press box. Is that Allen down there in the freaking infield trying to get a beer?
I'm probably a hot dog.
Well, I've never seen a hot dog in a cup.
You don't know Allen?
Well, actually, I do. Unfortunately, most of these tracks that we go to have very good catering, and by the time I get to it, more than half the damn table is gone.
Are you trying to imply that I'm back?
Oh, he lives! He lives! It's a miracle! No, I'm just trying to imply that you're fluffy.
Pleasantly plump.
I don't know what's going on with the 75 truck. He's saving. He's really saving because he's allowing Seth to walk away and even gain more time on him. And another truck has gotten around. No, never mind. That was not for position.
Nope, that was the 5 of Brad Speidel.
He's running that nose line,
you
so
know,
it tells me he's trying to, but I don't know what's going on with the 75 right now.
Let's go ahead and ride in the cab with him a little bit.
The 4 is gaining on Seth, but I don't think he's got enough laps to get there and make a pass before his tires are going to give out.
Yeah, he was just talking to me. He said he don't know if he's got enough to get there and make.
As you see the 5, he's going to dive low there. As we're riding along with the 75 of Robert Barris, and I was just going to say, every time I see Brad's paint scheme, it makes me want a beer. Not necessarily Pabst Blue Ribbon. I've got some Leinenkugel Summer Shandy sitting in the fridge that's looking really tempting right about now.
You can't go wrong with a good old PBR.
I gotta be in the right mood.
PBR gives you gas.
Really, the one thing that you're gonna say on broadcast, you talk about farts. Awesome. See, this is what, well, hell, anybody who's ever tuned in to one of our races knows Alan, in the way, that Alan doesn't hold anything back, including his excessive flatulence.
It's hard to find good help these days.
Ain't that the truth?
That's why you got me up here today.
Yep. Alan's good for the comic relief. All right, folks, with 183 laps in the books, we have 9 trucks left on the track. The most recent retiree, the 29 of Avery McDonald, he has taken his truck down behind the wall, so that'll be it for the 29 camp tonight. So, quick run through the field out front. It's still the 77 of Seth Schultz, the 4 of Caleb Thompson, still in second spot, the 75 of Robert Barris in third, the 76 of Joshua Jones, 4th. Todd Cray in the 10, 5th. The 5 of Brad Speidel, first truck laps down. So in the event the caution would come out, Brad would be sitting in the lucky dog position. In 7th, we have the 28 of Adam Nowinski, Rodney Kramer in the 6th and 8th, and Josue Tellis, the last truck on the track in 9th, down 15 laps. As we're approaching my favorite point of the race, when we stop counting laps up and we start counting laps down, even though that is still about 30 laps away.
What's that flag man doing with the yellow flag?
I think he was scratching his butt with it. Yeah, I think
he's putting it back in the bag.
Huh.
He says, we don't need this flag tonight.
No, I think he took the yellow flag and put it away to try and find the blue flag with the yellow stripe through it.
Absolutely love the South Pizza. That Smoky Mountain Chew, where it's non-tobacco, kind of a way for us chewers to wax up, and it's helped him quit as well as it helped me quit.
And I'm proud to say that was one of my, well, since this is sim racing, I made the paint scheme, so it might as well be my truck. That's one of my team trucks there. That is one of the one of my favorite paint schemes that I have made for the Camping World trucks. Now, he came to me and he said he wanted a Johnny Sauter paint scheme. He wanted the Smoky Mountain stuff, but in Seth's way, it had to be done a certain way, so I did it as close as he could, but added my own little bits and pieces to it, like that little bit of gold trim around the fender wells and the jack markers and all that. But other than that, it's straight up Johnny Sauter. We look through the rest of the field. I'm trying to think who else has, well, James took his truck behind the wall, so the 68, that's another one. The 42, that's another one of my paint schemes. The 28 of Adam Nowinski, let's go to him. That's another one of my you take a look here at the 28 Trax custom graphics truck. This is a paint scheme that Adam had a long time ago, but when Trading Paints crashed, the paint scheme was lost, so Adam came to me with the Trax custom graphics logos and just told me to throw a truck together. So what you see there is what you get. We've got the title series sponsor there on the deck lid. We've got the Diehard Live TV logos on the quarter panels and the back. So Adam, happy with just a simple paint scheme there.
Should be a caution.
And we've got a caution on the track. It's the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Let's rewind it and see what happened. It looked like it might have just been a solo spin.
It looks like he lost it off 3 and 4 and took all of the front stretch to actually spin out.
Yeah, it looks like he went back and forth, almost had it saved, and then it hooked off the apron.
Well, meanwhile, as I'm watching the replay, you two yokels actually say what happens before it happens. As we see, yeah, he just got loose. He had it woed up, and then, wow, that truck just went left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and then it just hooked up the track. Good job by the 6 of Rodney Kramer and the 75 of Robert Barris to stay high and around it, but that was enough to trip our first caution, so you know what that means. Everybody's going to be coming down pit road.
I know the weather says it's 78 degrees in Bristol, but it looked like it was ice.
Whoa, as we see it coming off of pit road, the 75 was inside the 77.
The 77 truck hits a penalty entering pit road, hitting the commitment cone.
Oh, that's going to hurt. So we are working our first caution here on lap 200. Now, we were talking about it before. I do believe that the 5 of Brad Speidel will be the lucky dog, as he is currently being scored first truck 1 or more laps down. And right now he's only being scored 1, so I'm guessing that he got the lucky dog already.
So the 77 will receive an EOL for that penalty.
As normally that would be a green flag stop and I think it's a 15-second hold for unsafe pit entrance. EOL sounds a lot more fair to me because, I mean, having to come down on a green flag, especially at a short track here, that is really, really going to screw your race up. So EOL would be that would be a more appropriate call for me. So we see the 24 of Josue Tellez. He's going to stay out and get the wave by. That'll bring him to 14 laps down, so the lights are out on the pace car. We're less than a lap away from restarting this race. Guys, what do you think we're going to see here at the, hopefully the last stretch of this race here? As we get the crank it up started, good jump by the 75 of Robert Bears. We are back green flag racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
He is showing some aggression here.
We see the 10 of Todd Cray. He's apparently not going to waste any time either, as he wants to get up there right behind the 75 and take that lead back.
Oh, Brad Spital hard into the inside wall, nose first.
That'll bring out our second caution here, so cautions are going to breed cautions, but we know where that one came from.
Correct, coming into pit road? Yes, I do, sir.
As we hear our Chad Knaus there, we're going to see Brad is the master of hitting things and not detonating the motor.
I don't see how he didn't right there.
Well, we're going to watch it here, and both of you shut the hell up so I can see what happens. We see the 6 of Rodney Kramer there. He got a little piece of the wall. See the 4 of Caleb Thompson in front of Brad. And then we see loose off of 4, and then ow, wow, yeah, he hit that inside wall so hard, it lifted the back end of that truck up, but somehow it still managed to keep going. Wow, amazing. That was a really, really hard hit, but nonetheless, that 5 truck doesn't really look too much worse for wear. So we see lap trucks coming down right now to get some service here. That's the 6 of Rodney Kramer, the 24 of Josue Tellez, the 5 of Brad Spital, and the 28 of Adam Nowinski. So now we're actually getting really close to the point of counting down the laps. We're only literally a few laps away from that. As we ride on board with your leader here, obviously with leader taking lane choice, Robert's going to take the outside. So when we see the lights on the pace car go off, we're going to see the 75 truck go to the high line here, as it should be 2 more laps, and we'll see 50 laps to go. Bigger. As we see the 75 is already up higher, lights on the pace car are out, so Robert's going to elect to take the outside line here, as we're going to be 1 lap until we restart here with 50 laps to go at Bristol. Do you think we're done with cautions, or are we going to see a couple more here?
No, we're just getting started.
Yep, we start pretty much run 3/4 of the race, perfect, and then now we're gonna have cautions breed cautions.
I believe the 77 has got some right side damage, as Caleb just pointed out to me. And
well, pace car's down. Here's the jump. Robert's got it. Green flag is back out. Let's see what these guys can do here. There are only 5 trucks on the lead lap, so it'll be interesting to see what the 75, the 77, the 4, the 76, and the 10 can do. As we see right now, the 10 is going to do the crossover here on the 76 as they go into 1 and 2.
Todd's been another one that's been saving this whole race as well. I think he's kept that truck pretty clean.
I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 trucks that don't have damage.
Can the 77 get by that 75 and set his lead back out again, or is Robert going to keep him behind and take the win?
Well, as much as we were kind of like downplaying it earlier in the race, I think these late race cautions have absolutely played to the 75 team's advantage. He's been able to get good jumps on the restarts, and he's been able to win the race off of pit road. So those are 2 of the most important things here on iRacing. So right now, I think it's going to be the 75's race to lose, but I'm more interested in watching this 4 truck here, as I think Caleb's going to have something for the 77.
Oh yeah. As I was watching him earlier, like I said, he was running the same lap. He was just kind of in the back, and he was being patient. He wasn't beating his truck up at all. I think he has scraped the wall a time or 2, but doesn't show it.
So look at the 10 truck too. I mean, as you see the 77 a little loose there coming off of 4. That's definitely going to help the 4 truck. But looking back at the 10 truck, would you be saving that much this close to the end? As we could see the gap there between the 76 and the 10. I don't know if Todd's just really good on the short run and then falls off on the long run, or if he's better on the long run and he's just not as good on the short run as these guys are. I know if I was a racer, I'd be aggressive as hell.
I don't think anyone's saving at this point, because you don't really lose that much. We saw 100 laps in, and there's only a second off their qualifying times. They're going to run what they got right here and whatever they've set up with their pit strategy and just hammer down.
Well, you've raced enough official races with me to know that I'm not afraid to move people. You've seen me do it at Michigan. Yeah, we see the 77 there, give a nice little shot there to the 75. Hey, I'm here, I want by, let me by. But you've seen me move people at Michigan, you've seen me move them at, where the hell have I done it? Auto Club. If somebody's slower, I'm not afraid to get up there, give them a little bit of a bump or knock them loose out of the groove, but that's something that you really can't do here at Bristol because it's so short of a track and the bank is so steep. You give somebody a bump here, they're more than likely to go around, versus at a larger, like an intermediate to 2 mile track, you can give them a little piece of the bumper, just enough to upset the back of the car. But with the latest build that iRacing put out, it seems that you don't even have to touch them anymore. You can just dump some dirty air on the rear quarter panel of the car, or dump some dirty air on the nose. Exactly. He's using that to his advantage.
77's having trouble getting power down every time he's down there on that left rear.
But
instead of having that right side damage in his right rear spoilers, and even got a little crinkle in him.
Putting some dirty air on that left rear is exactly what the 4 truck needs to do. Seeing how, as you pointed out, that little bit of, even though it's a small amount of right side damage, it's just enough that if you dump some dirty air on that left rear, it's going to cause that truck to get loose off the corner. As we see the 77 graze the wall there a little bit. That's the laps are winding down really quick here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It'll be 33 laps to go here as the 75 takes the line this time around.
And both of these guys
Alan, I know you're the one that knows the points. What's the point spread between Robert and Seth? As we see the 77 still continuing to put pressure on the 75. We don't really see the 76 trying to work over the 4 too much. But with 31 laps remaining here at Bristol, right now it's still anybody's ball game in the front 4. As we see the 10 of Todd Cray, he is still falling back off of these front 4 guys here. I think
the point spread between the 75 and the 77 is 11.
So Seth really needs, well, even if Seth does win this and Robert finishes second, worst case scenario, it's still not really going to alter the points that much. We all knew that this race here was going to be the crucial race for the Chase, seeing how it's the only short track in the mix. The rest of them are all 1.5 miles. Our first race obviously at Chicagoland, which I believe, didn't we run that one green flag the entire way? This one here at Bristol, we've had 2 cautions. Hopefully that's it, and these guys can race it out. And then next Sunday, we will move on to Charlotte, and then the following Sunday, okay, Chicago, we had 2 cautions. We've had 2 cautions here tonight. And then next week we move on to Charlotte. And then, as always, our season finale at Homestead, which will be coming up in 2 weeks, where we will crown our Chase champion. We've already crowned the regular season champion, and no surprise, it was the 75. We're seeing if the 75 can make it a sweep again and win 2 championships. We see, once again, that 77 just a little bit of a bobble off the corner and a little bit of the wall there in 1 and 2.
To the 4 falling back.
No, right now it's only a 4/10-second gap between first to third, so not too bad. We still have over 20 laps left. I think maybe Caleb's possibly got something up his sleeve. Still trying to put some pressure on the 77, while the 77 is trying to put pressure on the 75. There's a lot of 70 trucks up here in the front 5. We got 75, the 77, and the 76. The only thing that'd be missing would be me, the 78 out there.
Well, you would not be up here, I don't think.
No. I'd already been headed. No. I wouldn't be behind the wall. I already have my shit on its way to Charlotte.
10-4, mine's already there. Why do you think I'm up here?
I want 20 laps to go.
Oh, wow. Seth got in the wall on the front stretch there a little.
I think he's pushing that truck just a little bit too hard, which is exactly, that's exactly what the 4 truck wants to see. As we see now, the lead pack is going to be coming up on the 5 of Brad Speidel.
And that's where things can change.
Under 20 laps to go, lap traffic coming into play. I don't know if he's getting up there and getting the wall or if the truck's just bottoming out, because I'm seeing it consistently in the corner.
I believe he got the wall that last. And Brad is going to stay low for him as they get to him. That has been announced.
It's amazing. Got to look back. Got to look back to the Martinsville race with the, I believe it was the K&N car. Brad's car was absolutely slapped the hell out. There wasn't a straight inch of sheet metal on that car. It had been upside down.
I think so. He rolled it twice.
Yeah, he rolled it twice. He had run it headlong into the wall after getting turned, and that car still ran.
Yeah.
Brad has got... Oh, yeah, exactly. No, you could come up and give me a bump draft and it'd blow up. I don't know what, but wow. To see that 5 truck out there after hitting the wall that hard, that was almost an Eric Amarola hit. that truck came up so high on the back end, that would kill anything, but that 5 truck is still out there and running. As we see the 77 Seth Schultz, he's still trying to put the pressure there on the 75 of Robert Barris, as we will be coming to 10 laps to go when they hit the stripe. We're going to shift our attention up here for the battle for the lead to see if anything does happen. Still seeing a little bit of a bobble out of that 77 as he comes out the corners, and now we're going to see him. He's looking on the inside.
Can he make it stick with him weaving and wobbling like that?
That was a smart move there by the 75, pinching Seth down there in the corner, because look at the gap that opened up after that.
I wondered how much that 75 was giggling.
I don't know. Wonder how much that 77's not going to care if he has to move him out of the way the next time.
Oh, yeah.
We're under 10 laps to go. It'll be 6 laps to go at the line. Can the 77 make anything happen against the 75?
Oh, 10 and 4 hard into each other. Caution's out.
Yep, that'll be our third caution, and I do believe that'll give us, what, like a green-white checker here. Or it might possibly end the race. Let's go ahead and take a look from Caleb's point of view and see what happened. As we can see the live shot right now, that Ford truck is pretty mangled on the front end.
Yeah, he just said he blew up.
All right, here we are. We see the 4, the 76, and the 10 all together. You see the pass. They've both made it past the 76. The 10 dives inside. Looks like Caleb turned it up the track a little bit. Oh, wow. Looks like, wow, we're going to have to look at that from a different angle. We're going to have to go to the 10's point of view to see that one. It almost looked like netcode. I'm going to back it up again and take a look from the 10 of Todd Cray and see if we can see what happened. Okay, so this is once again after they both clear. Todd dives it down there. It almost looks like he just got sucked into the side, but it could have been netcode.
I don't know if that was...
I think they might have just got too close to each other and dirty air came into play and just sucked the 10 right into the 4. I don't know if that was...
That would be netcode.
The way his truck did that, it had to have been netcode because it just turned dead right.
In super slow motion, they're running close, and then all of a sudden, the front end of the 10 just whips over in front of the 4.
That's
it was
definitely
like,
indicative of netcode.
But they wasn't touching each other.
Well, at least it was close netcode where we actually had to go back and look, because sometimes the netcode's been so bad, you could literally park another truck sideways in between 2 of the trucks, and somehow they both magically spin. So at least that one was a justified netcoding. Well, I'm almost willing to bet that this race is in the books here, because I don't think we're going to go back green. So that being the case, that would hand the race win to the 75 of Robert Barris. As the pace car comes around to take the final lap here, we will end this one under caution. So white flag is out. It will be a finish under caution here.
That's so sad to see too. The battle that was going on up there. I know the 75s or the 77s upsetting the 75. He would have loved to seen it go green.
So we see the 77 giving the 75 a couple little bumps there. And as, go ahead.
I hate to see that the 4 got collected in that. He had made such a good run. Him and Todd both had made good runs and kept it clean. And I know it pretty much trashed Caleb, and it really hurt him too.
And with the pace car making it around, the race is officially in the books. Your race winner is the 75 of Robert Bears. Seth Schultz is going to bring it home second. Joshua Jones in the 76. After avoiding the incident between the 4 and the 10, he's going to bring it home in third spot. The 28 of Adam Nowinski, he managed to rebound with a 4th place finishing tonight. The 10 of Todd Cray being involved in that last incident there. He's still going to bring it home in 5th spot. Brad Speidel in the 5 will come home 6th, 2 laps down. The 4 of Caleb Thompson will finish 7th, down 5 laps. And tonight's luck of the draw winner is the 10 of Todd Cray. So victory celebrations are underway here. The 75 Robert Bears burning it down on the front stretch as only he can do, because I've tried. I can get it to do somewhat like that, but nowhere near as good of a rolling burnout like that. As we get all of our drivers down in here. All right, we're going to bring in our 3rd place finisher, the 76 of Joshua Jones.
Joshua Jones.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right.
Tell us about those last few laps there. I've seen you was battling with Caleb there for a while, and then that incident between him and Todd. Tell us what you've seen out of your point of view.
Yeah, I just couldn't get it cut down and keep it down without passing, so I just kind of let off. I seen the, I think it was the 10 coming, so let them by, and them two just got together going down in the turn there.
Well, you managed to keep the truck fairly clean. I don't think there was too many bumps and bruises on that ride tonight, was there?
No, I believe I had maybe one scrape on the wall, but it was 0X.
Well, that was a hell of a run for here at Bristol. Anything, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the automotive office technologies and all the guys at Diehard and Seth.
Awesome. Well, you had a good run there and you finished 3rd. I know you'd like to probably got the win. You had a nice truck looking out there, and I love that brownie paint scheme.
Well, thank you.
All right, well, congratulations once again on your 3rd place finish, and we will see you next week at Charlotte for round 3 of the chase.
Yep, thank you guys.
That was our 3rd place finisher, the 76 of Joshua Jones. Now we will bring in the 77 of Seth Schultz, and Alan, he's all yours.
Hey, Seth, looks like you brought it home 2nd tonight. That gives you a pretty decent finish in the points here. How you feeling?
Pissed off I didn't win. No, I wasn't good at the beginning of a run, but I could get the speed I needed after that. Didn't want that caution. The chrome horn was going to come out because it was damn near impossible to pass on the bottom. Robert's a good racer, and I was hoping to beat him. I actually beat myself earlier by going around the commitment cone, and I don't even know why I did it. But either way, I still had a chance at the end. but caution came out, and actually I was looking at it here, and they get within about a foot of each other, and then Todd gets turned into him, which is his Todd's fault for coming up, but you could tell it was net code. So other than that, got to thank James with Automated Office Technologies and Cody for doing the look of the draw winner and stuff like that. So and thank you guys for broadcasting and everybody for showing up.
And all I gotta say is I told both of you he would use the chrome horn if he had to.
I didn't want to, but it was the only thing that was going to do it. I wanted to try it, or try passing him clean, early on, and with like 20 to go, and you saw what happened. It just you couldn't do it, and so I said screw it. And when the race ended, or when the caution came on, I told Robert, I said I was going to use chrome horn, and he agreed. That's pretty much what you were going to have to do if you wanted any chance. So. Oh well, other than that, I guess off to Charlotte next week, and hopefully we can put one in the bag there.
Well, the good news is at least, even though you didn't get the win, you still got second place, which is still going to be a great scoring thing, which is going to keep the gap between you and Robert as minimal as possible as we do move into race 3 next week at Charlotte, and then the week after that, the finale at Homestead. Hopefully you can finally get one up on Robert and close that points gap, and then we actually see something where it's not going to be a runaway lead going into Homestead. But anything is possible, especially at Charlotte, and we all know Homestead is definitely a rhythm track, so we got to watch out for Robert there because he's the master of rhythm. So you definitely got your work cut out for you, but once again, congratulations on that second spot.
Yeah, 10-4. I needed that win to get another extra bonus point. Plus, I think Robert ended up leading more laps than me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Robert pulled down
149.
You got 2.
Yeah.
You got 101 and he had 149.
Yeah, so that's what hurts right now. So he's got a 9-point lead going in. He's either gonna have to have a really bad race for me to catch him, or dumb luck, I guess. I mean, he's gonna need bad luck. I mean, that's all I can say, because I honestly don't believe I'm going to catch him, but I'm going to try my best to just win races from here on out. So
just channel your inner Johnny Sauter. You've got the paint scheme. You can do it.
So we're counting on a little more aggression out of you.
No, I think you would have saw it. Basically would have saw it tonight at Bristol. I'm not going to. If we're side by side covering the stripes, then yeah, we'll be banging doors. I'll guarantee that. But at that same point, we'll be racing for the win, because if he finishes second and I finish first, I ain't gonna gain nothing on him really. So a point, but that'd be about it. So Robert's the guy to beat, and he has been for the last couple seasons now. So it's good to see where he was when he came to the league, to burn his crap up in 5 laps and fall back. But he's the opposite now. He's the fast guy. So he's the one to beat.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the second place, and hopefully you can pin down a win next week when we move on to Charlotte.
All right, man. Good one. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
All right, now we will bring in the race winner, and I'm sure we all have questions for him. Well, Robert, you managed to seal the deal at Bristol. This had to have been the most key race of the chase, being the half-mile concrete death bowl that we know Bristol to be. You managed, even after, well, we saw at the beginning of the race, starting in P4, you got out to an early lead. We had an extensively long green flag run, and then it wasn't until, I think, the late race cautions that we saw you back up towards the front, but that's what ultimately played out and led the victory right into your lap, as we saw net code between the 10 and the 4 there, bringing out that final caution to end the race under caution, which that would probably be the only downside of the race. Nobody likes to see one finish under yellow, but a win is a win, and especially with you being the points leader here in the chase, that's definitely got to feel good.
It's awesome being able to go 2 for 2 in the chase, 4th win of the season. Heck of a lot of momentum. Absolutely trying to get through this wild card race at Bristol. That was definitely the one that had the greatest uncertainty. We've only had, I think, one other race at Bristol in the league, and I think I got wrecked and didn't make it to the end, didn't finish very well. And really, I've never had any other success otherwise at Bristol, so it'll bring home a win. Very awesome, just overall.
I think we need to start adding it to tracks that you have not won it yet. I think your trophy, I think you need to have somebody build a bigger trophy case because it's starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we're getting up there in wins for the league. We still got Jason that we got to run down, but otherwise, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to Charlotte. Hopefully, we can get in a very good, strong position for points after Charlotte, and just take the stress off of Homestead. I've kind of been hit or miss there, but and just going back Bristol wild card race here for the chase, be able to get 2 for 2 is a heck of a thing. That first run, I don't know what happened to Todd. I couldn't really tell if it was like a net code thing or if he really hit the wall, but he lost all his momentum, and I was able to get past him and kind of control the race from there. I expected some cautions, and I was running pretty hard, and we didn't get any for quite a while. We went through an entire green flag run, and so probably 2/3 of the way through, you could start to see I was suffering. I'd just run the good off the tires, and with the cautions, we had a couple cautions, kind of reset everything, and then at that point, Seth was still kind of in control, but he missed a commitment cone and had to go to the end of the longest line, and so that got me back in control of the race, and just from there, it was just clean air and just managing the tires for the long run. I didn't know if we were going to get another caution or not. It kind of a mixed blessing there to get one to end the race. I've lost a couple, kind of being in Seth's position there. So to be on the good side of it, I guess, is it helps, I guess, offset those ones where I was on Seth's side.
We definitely maxed out the points on this one. You led the most laps and you got the win, so that's really going to help you as we move into Charlotte next week. And as you said, Homestead being a 50-50 track, if you can manage to make this a three-peat, you are going to absolutely destroy it because after tonight, you've extended your point lead by 3 more points.
Yeah, the introduction of the chase this season to tighten kind of everything up, and looking at the end of last season, I think I won 3 out of the last 4 races and a second in the other race. So I figured there's I've run it all out last season and kind of wasted that good luck where I really needed it this season. But starting off 2 for 2, that's can't really get any better than that.
How much were you looking in the rear view and anticipating that bumper from the 77?
I was kind of waiting for it. I knew he would, if he could get there in the closing laps, he was gonna use it, but he would use it respectively. He wouldn't just outright dump me. I was watching quite a bit though, just even for what line he was running, we was making speed. That last run, I was kind of running the middle lane, because the fast lane kind of moved around depending on how traffic was and who was running rare. And I noticed he was getting some pretty good speed and momentum on the high side, so I moved up to try that out and also to take that lane away from him, and found a little bit. I found a tenth or two there, and that seemed to have been enough. We had the the run before, it was somewhere around lap 90 or 100, where when he first got by me, I was able to really fend him off on the high side. So I was confident if I could just protect that high side, I'd be in pretty good shape. And then as far as the bumpers, it was just going to be, could I hold on to it? Which I'd like to think that I'd been able to, but kind of unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to find out tonight.
There's one thing I just noticed looking down at pit road. I think that the Bristol came with a silver lining. One of the sponsors right there on the end of pit road is the University of Northwest Ohio. So I think you had your home state pulling for you this time.
Oh, absolutely. They're big in NASCAR. So yeah, it's good to see Ohio kind of on the NASCAR map, with that sponsorship. Also with the truck race coming up at Eldora and the Xfinity race at Mid Ohio. I've got tickets for both of those events to see them in person, and they're every year. They're great events. So if you're anywhere near West or Northern Ohio, pick up some tickets and head on out. They're a great show.
Alan, anything?
It was a pretty good race tonight. Glad to see you extend your lead a little bit more there, Robert. It's going to take a severe folly on your part to lose the championship here, so good luck to you.
Well, thank you. Hopefully we can get it closed out here in these last two races.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on making it a back-to-back win. Let's see if you can go for 3 next week at Charlotte.
Will do.
All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and pull up the official results here from Bristol Motor Speedway, coming home obviously with back-to-back wins. We have the 75 of Robert Barris. Seth Schultz in the 77 is going to bring it home second. Joshua Jones will be your third place finishing truck tonight. Todd Cray will finish fourth despite being involved in the last caution there involving netcode. The 28 of Adam Nowinski will finish fifth. Brad Speidel sixth. The 4 of Caleb Thompson, who was involved in the incident with the 10 of Todd Cray, will bring it home seventh. Rodney Kramer 8th. Josue Tellis 9th. The 29 of Avery McDonald is going to round out the top 10. 11th, we have the 47 of Brian Clark. Corey Brown 12th. James Brown 13th. And the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst is going to round out the field. So, guys, it was actually a lot shorter of a race than I thought it was going to be. We only had 3 or 4 cautions, which is absolutely when you look at it, considering what track we were at and how many laps we had to do, that was almost only like having 1 caution at a super speedway. So, any last thoughts before we wrap this one up and start packing all our gear up and moving it on to Charlotte?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to thank Automated Office Technologies for, their support, and a little bit about the salute to our local heroes. That's a shout out to, of course, our military, along with all our public servants out there, EMS, fire, police. Be sure to thank some of those guys out there. They do a great job and have to deal with some critics a lot of times.
Mr. Mann, a few words.
Thank you. Something about you, Alan.
Yeah.
Get the hot dog out.
Well, apparently Alan already said what he had to say. So for everybody here at Diehard Racing League and Diehard Live TV, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. And we will see you guys next Sunday at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And also, Saturday night, we will be live with Roaring Thunder Racing League when they take on Chicagoland for 134 laps in the K&N car. So make sure you guys tune in for that Saturday night. And then once again, next Sunday, we will be live here, as always, every Sunday with Diehard Racing League as we move to round 3 of the chase at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Cue the music.